The gray morning, heavy with relentless rain, transformed the small town of Pine Creek into a near-monochrome landscape. The sky, a somber mantle of clouds, mirrored the sadness that weighed heavily on Alina's heart. Alina, a widow of 40, her brown hair cascading in soft waves and eyes the color of melted chocolate, lived alone in her grandparents' cozy, rustic home. Every brick and wooden beam resonated with the loneliness that had become her constant companion. Laughter and love, once vibrant, were now silent echoes, amplifying the emptiness that consumed her. Years ago, a tragic car accident had stolen her husband, Liam, from her life. The memory of that night remained etched in her mind. The phone call that shattered the stillness, the police officer's voice on the other end, the desperate rush to the hospital, and the chilling silence that followed the announcement of Liam's death. Each detail was an indelible scar on her soul. Liam had been a kind man, his smile lighting up any room, his heart brimming with boundless love. He was the sun that warmed Alina's life, and without him, the world felt cold and barren. They had shared dreams, laughter, and plans for a future that would never be. Alina reminisced about their early days together, hand-in-hand walks through the city park, long conversations by candlelight, Liam's gaze that made her feel like the only person in the world. The memory of their wedding, a sunny summer day where they vowed to love each other forever, brought a tear to her eye. Life without Liam was a stark reality Alina had to confront. The pain of his loss was a wound that refused to heal, a void that nothing could fill. But with time, she learned to coexist with the loneliness, finding solace in simple things, like the bird song at dawn or the vibrant blooms in her garden. Though Liam's absence remained a constant ache, Alina had learned to live with the pain, channeling it into a force that propelled her forward. But on that gloomy and wet day, as Alina observed the raindrops descending the window, she couldn't fathom that her life was about to undergo another transformation. That afternoon, the rain steadily fell, producing a calming and mesmerizing tune in the gutter of Alina's house. Seated in her cherished armchair next to the window, she watched the raindrops trickle down the glass. Suddenly, her attention was captivated by a figure on the road, a solitary and seemingly disoriented man. This man stood on the roadside, head down and shoulders slumped, as if burdened by the weight of the world. His hair, drenched by the rain, clung to his pale face, and his clothes were soaked, clinging to his slender frame. Even from a distance, Alina could perceive the bewildered expression on his face, as if he were in search of something elusive. A sense of caution tinged Alina's emotions. After all, she was alone, and this was a stranger. However, her compassionate nature spoke louder. She couldn't ignore someone in need, particularly on such a chilly and rainy day. With a resolute exhale, she exited her residence and approached the stranger. "Hello," she called out as she neared him. "It seems like you could use a place to take shelter." The man glanced at her, taken aback, and after a brief moment, nodded. "Yes," he admitted in a husky voice, affected by the cold. "I'm Oliver, a wanderer." Alina extended her hand in a welcoming gesture. "I'm Alina. Come, my house is just over there. You can warm up and have something to eat." Oliver's expression transformed from surprise to gratitude. "Are you certain? I don't want to impose." Alina interjected with a warm smile. "It's no imposition at all. Come." With a grateful gesture of his head, Oliver followed Alina. That afternoon, as the rain continued to pour outside, Alina opened both the doors of her home and her heart to this stranger. Little did she know, this encounter would have a profound and lasting impact on her life. As the days passed, Oliver's presence in Alina's home became a comforting and surprisingly natural fixture. The silent and damp stranger she had welcomed on that rainy day proved to be a gentle and attentive individual. With his weathered hands and intense gaze, Oliver brought a distinct energy to Alina's abode, an energy that had been absent since the loss of her husband. During the evenings, they would sit by the fireplace, the warmth of the crackling flames casting an illuminating glow on their faces as they exchanged tales of their lives. Alina, holding a steaming cup of tea, reminisced about her beloved husband, Liam. She shared stories of their strolls in the park, the nights filled with dancing and laughter, and the dreams they had planned together. "I miss him every single day," Alina expressed, her voice tinged with evident sorrow. "He was my soulmate, and without him, I feel incomplete." Oliver, his gaze fixed on the fire, listened attentively, offering words of solace when needed. He, too, shared his own narrative, unraveling his troubled past. He spoke candidly about his previous life, one marred by mistakes and regrettable choices that ultimately led to a criminal act and subsequent imprisonment. "I was young, impulsive, and consumed by anger," Oliver confessed, his gaze lowered to his hands. "I made a colossal mistake, one that came with severe consequences. I was arrested, and when I finally regained my freedom, I had nothing and no one. So I began wandering and attempting to find some semblance of purpose in my life." Alina listened intently, a profound empathy emanating from her being towards the man seated before her. Both individuals, in their own unique ways, understood the agony of loss and the weight of remorse. Both were grappling with ways to move forward. And thus, during those nights spent by the fireplace, Alina and Oliver unveiled their stories, unintentionally forging a connection that would forever alter the trajectory of their lives. The days passed by smoothly for Alina, a feeling she hadn't experienced in a long time. Oliver, the wanderer she had taken in, proved to be a man of many talents. He had a unique knack for fixing broken things, whether it be damaged furniture or worn-out household utensils. His skilled hands and meticulous attention to detail transformed the old and damaged into something new and functional once again. However, it wasn't just Oliver's handy skills that impressed Alina. He had a special fondness for the garden, nurturing plants and flowers with a tender care almost like a father. Under his care, the garden thrived. The flowers appeared more vibrant and the grass seemed greener. In addition, Oliver possessed a surprising musical talent. In the evenings, he would pick up the old guitar Alina kept in the living room, playing gentle melodies that filled the house with enchanting music. He also sang. His voice was deep and emotive, each note resonating with a sincerity that touched Alina's soul. Once a home filled with loneliness, the house now buzzed with life and music. As the void in her heart began to fade, Alina realized a deep friendship was blossoming between her and Oliver. One evening, as Oliver played a particularly captivating melody, Alina spoke up. "You know, I've always wanted to learn how to play guitar and sing, but I've never had the chance." Oliver paused and looked at her. "Well, why don't we start now? I can teach you if you'd like." The nights that followed were a blend of guitar lessons and joy. Oliver, patient and supportive, taught Alina the proper way to hold the guitar, play the strings, and discover her own musical voice. Music, always a part of Alina's life, became even more significant when shared with Oliver. Among the melodies and laughter, Alina realized that her heart raced in Oliver's presence. She fell in love with him, not only for who he was, but also for the person he became around her. Uncertain of the future, she knew she wanted to spend as much time as possible with Oliver, the wanderer who reintroduced music and love into her life. One afternoon, as Oliver went into town for supplies, Alina decided to tackle the attic, a place she rarely ventured. The dust and memories of the past made the space feel almost eerie. While exploring the forgotten items, she stumbled upon an old wooden chest concealed beneath blankets. Intrigued, she opened it to find belongings of her late husband, Liam. Her breath caught when she discovered a locked box she had never seen before. Trembling, she unlocked it to reveal yellowed letters, faded photographs, and official documents telling a shocking tale. Before meeting her, her husband had committed a terrible crime, evading the law and assuming a new identity to escape his dark past. Alina was overcome with shock and sorrow. Tears filled her eyes as she processed the truth about the man she had loved and lost. She knew she had to share this revelation with Oliver. Upon Oliver's return, he found Alina in the living room, tears streaming down her face as she held the open box. Concerned, he approached and asked gently, "Alina, what's wrong?" With tears choking her voice, Alina revealed a terrible truth she had uncovered about her husband to Oliver. He listened in silence, his expression shifting from shock to understanding as she spoke. Once Alina finished, Oliver took a deep breath and admitted, "I have something to confess as well, something I've never had the courage to share with anyone." Shaken, Alina looked at Oliver, waiting for his revelation. As they sat together in the living room, the secrets of their pasts unraveling, they both prepared to face the truth and whatever the future may bring. Oliver's dark eyes weighed heavily with emotion as he began to speak, revealing a shocking connection to Alina's late husband. The chase consumed him, leading to the loss of his career, marriage, and ultimately his freedom when he was falsely accused and imprisoned. Alina felt his pain and bitterness, gaining a newfound understanding and respect for him. Through the revelations and heartbreak, Alina and Oliver found a shared desire for justice and redemption, uniting them in their dark pasts and wounded hearts. Despite the uncertainty ahead, they knew they would face it together. Alina felt the ground shaking beneath her as Oliver's words hit her like a storm, each revelation bringing a new wave of shock. Learning that Oliver had known the truth about her husband from the start left her speechless. Oliver confessed that he had come to confront the man who had ruined his life, but had been changed by meeting Alina. He gazed at Alina, his eyes brimming with remorse and a hint of something else, a sensation that almost felt like anguish. "I witnessed the life you constructed here, the resilience you exhibited in the face of pain and loss, and I simply couldn't inflict any more suffering on you, not after all you had already endured." Oliver's words lingered in the quiet room, weighted by the confession he had just voiced. Alina observed him, perceiving the essence of the man he had become, a man marked by profound loss, burdened by immense sorrow, yet still finding the fortitude to shield her from further hurt. The disclosure struck Alina unexpectedly, a revelation that reshaped her perception of their connection. Amidst the turmoil and anguish, a peculiar comprehension dawned upon her. She and Oliver were intertwined by a shadowy past and an uncertain future. Though the shock of the revelation resonated within her, Alina resolved to confront whatever came their way, mirroring Oliver's bravery and resolve. Alina felt engulfed in an emotional tempest. Each utterance from Oliver, every disclosure, felt like a fresh blow, leaving her disoriented and perplexed. The familiar reality she clung to was crumbling, replaced by a darker, more intricate truth. On one side, a sense of betrayal gnawed at her. Oliver had harbored knowledge of her husband's true identity all along, opting to keep her in the dark. He had hidden truths that altered everything. Yet, on the other hand, Alina comprehended Oliver's motives. Witnessing the agony she had endured, he made the choice to shield her from further pain. Despite the betrayal, compassion shone through, and Alina acknowledged a hint of love. "Alina, Oliver commenced, but she cut him off, raising her hand. "I understand, Oliver," she murmured gently. "I realize you did it to shield me, and I can't pretend not to grasp your reasons. But this alters everything." Oliver nodded, acknowledging her sentiments. He comprehended that life would be forever changed by this revelation. "I realize this is overwhelming," he expressed, "and I respect if you require time, Alina. However, I want you to know that I love you, and I'm ready to address all this, to pursue justice." His words reverberated in the room, infusing the atmosphere with a commitment to fight, to endure. Despite the bewilderment and shock, Alina sensed a surge of resolve within her. "Let's navigate this together, Oliver," she eventually voiced, meeting his gaze. "Let's confront the truth, untangle the past, and advocate for justice. Let's face it together." As their bond deepened amidst the turmoil, Alina and Oliver pledged to confront the pain of the past and the uncertainties of the future, united in their pursuit of justice and truth. The striking climax of their tale stood as a testament to human resilience and the redemption found in unexpected corners. Alina and Oliver, bound by unforeseen circumstances and poignant disclosures, discovered solace in each other's love, a healing for their wounded spirits, and a promise of a fresh beginning. It was a harsh truth, a past marred by transgressions and betrayals that irreversibly altered their paths. Yet within that truth, they found liberation, the revelation of a long-concealed secret, though painful, unleashed a sense of freedom, enabling them to confront reality with unwavering resolve. Amidst the tumult and disorder, a beacon of hope emerged, a gleaming ray promising a brighter tomorrow. Together, they compiled all the evidence Alina had unearthed in her pivotal attic discovery, letters, photographs, documents, and presented them to the authorities. With the case reopened, the truth was finally unveiled. The exhaustive inquiry laid bare the true essence of the late Liam, ultimately ensuring justice. Past errors were rectified, and while the price of truth was steep, the relief it brought was immeasurable. In the narrative of love, loss, and revelation, Alina and Oliver discovered in one another not just a companion, but a comrade, a person who comprehended their challenges and was prepared to navigate the tempest by their side. Their love offered solace for their wounds, a prospect for a fresh beginning, a reflection of human resilience and the capacity to triumph over the most formidable adversities. And thus, dear companions, we arrive at the conclusion of this remarkable tale, a chronicle of love, loss, and redemption. Alina and Oliver have exemplified that even amidst disorder and suffering, hope, healing, and a new dawn are attainable. This narrative serves as a reminder to confront reality, however agonizing it may be, for liberation and justice await on the far side. It also underscores that love and empathy can emerge from unexpected sources and darkest moments. Thank you for accompanying me on this expedition. I trust it has resonated with you as deeply as it has with me. If you enjoyed this content, please hit the like button, share it with your acquaintances, and remember to subscribe to the channel for more narratives of this nature. As we bid adieu, keep in mind, each one of us possesses the capability to surmount challenges, discover illumination in obscurity, and commence anew. Just like Alina and Oliver have illuminated, it is never too late to pursue truth, ensure justice, and find love. Till we meet again, remain resilient, pursue truth, and spread love. Farewell, and see you soon.